Today I am joined by Stan Cho, MPP of Willowdale, and of course Ms. Chae from the Korean Canadian Business Association. First off, welcome to TLN. How are both of you doing during, of course, such a difficult time?
Well, it's great to see you again, Camila. I guess I'll kick things off. These are certainly extraordinary times, and it's been difficult out there. And I come from that small business world and watched my parents struggle trying to make a living. And it really just brings me back to those days when things were hard at the best of economic times. And certainly the government has heard loud and clear the frustrations and anxiety that people face. But thanks to those measures of continuing the social distancing and listening to our health experts, the good news is that sunnier days are on the horizon. And being the Parliamentary Assistant to Ontario's Minister of Finance, I can tell you that there will be an announcement this afternoon that will announce further good news in just a few short hours, but that those sunnier days are indeed on the horizon, and our government is going to continue to protect the health and safety and economic well-being of those that we serve. So good news coming soon.
That's great. And Ms. Chae, how about for yourself, of course, involved with so many small businesses and with so many people that run family-owned companies? How has your quarantine been like, and how has that change affected you?
So first of all, thanks for inviting me, Camila. I think in my life, these times it will be the most difficult time. So then most of us small business owners, they are struggling how to survive after shutting down, and also how to keep the business after reopening. So then very stressful mentally and physically, very tough time for everybody.
Absolutely. I mean, I think this is affecting so many people that none of us knew this was coming. None of us know what's going to happen in the future. Mr. Cho, as a small business owner yourself, how have you been affected personally with COVID-19?
So first of all, Camila, Mr. Cho is at home driving my mother nuts. Please call me Stan, but thank you for that. Yes, and small business, as I said in my intro, is that's been my life. It's given me that opportunity to serve in government. And I'm deeply affected, to answer your question, on the phone from 7 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock almost every night. And it's not just my caucus and stakeholders I'm speaking to. I'm speaking to friends, family, constituents, those at the ground level going through the challenges associated with this pandemic, and their severe challenges. Let's not kid ourselves that small business is the backbone of our economy, not just in Ontario, but in our country. And it's given such opportunities for so many new Canadians. And so my heart breaks every time I hear those phone calls, because behind every door of every restaurant, of every bar, of every rock climbing gym that you go to is a family trying to put food on the table. So it's been tough, but we've listened and we've worked with all levels of government and through all ministries. And the good news is that certainly we're very close to being on that recovery path. We are on that recovery path. And I think in the coming weeks, you're going to hear the good news come fast.
One of the most devastating things I think that we've heard about COVID-19 is, of course, all of these small businesses that are closing. Of course, there's government help, but you can't help but scroll through your Twitter feeds and hear about your favorite pizza place down the street or a bar that you used to frequent that is now having to shut down. Is the government help that's being given out right now enough, Ms. Chae, to help these businesses stay open?
First of all, I am very proud of Korean Canadian because so I landed in Canada 2005, but what a surprise for this time, at least government does not make us to die, right? And so like a lot of programs like a CRB, CCRA, and the wages subsidy, and that kind of programs, it's not enough. There are a lot of gaps, but still it makes us, okay, we are not alone. Government is supporting us. And also you can cover the minimum cost to survive. I really appreciate it.
And what else could be done? Have you been able to talk to some business owners that might have a couple of requests or something that they think could really, really benefit their business?
The benefit from the government to support the small business, and of course that is very essential and it's very basic. But as a little bit longer term, we need to keep to hire my lovely employees, and also we have to offer the job to them So then, like for example, like a CLB and the wages subsidy, maybe my recommendation, we have to change it slowly from the CLB to wages subsidy to hiring more people. Then, gradually I can keep the business, even it's not enough. Then, so then if I can keep my sign and my restaurant sign after uh, everything is settled, then it's very big success.
Of course. And Stan, what do you think could be done to help the small businesses? What other forms of aid could maybe become available to help them stay on their feet?
Yeah, thanks, Camila. Let me be very clear on this. Our government's done a lot, but we haven't done enough. And we need to continue to do more. And that's not just us alone. That's in conjunction with our partners across all 444 municipalities in this province, as well as our partners in Ottawa. Miss Chae's story is the story of my family. My dad came to Canada in 1970, and him and my mom worked their tails off to give me, my sister, and my brother a better life. That's the story of many viewers watching today, and that's the Canadian dream. We need to protect that dream, and government's responsibility is number one, protect the health and safety of the people it serves, and then create the conditions for that prosperity. So at the Ministry of Finance, I'm going to continue to push to do a lot more. Yes, we've had some great successes with the wage subsidy, with the commercial rent program, and I have details on that incoming every single day, because we are moving quickly and working around the clock, because this is priority number one. There is nothing more important that the government can work on right now. So I am committed to make sure we do a lot more.
Organizations like the KCBA are so important to a lot of ethnic groups, of course, to multicultural Canadians who really rely on these communities to find their success. Do you think that there's enough support as well being lent to those immigrant communities and to all of these ethnic businesses that maybe don't have a very strong dominance on the English language? They may not understand the government releases that are being done. How can we continue to help these ethnic communities to really thrive?
I'm volunteering as a president of KCBA from this year. So it's very critical year and a very important year. So then what I'm trying to do, first of all, like immigrant, small restaurant owners, family run one, they don't have, they cannot speak English well, and they don't have any supportive people to catch the details and catch the information. What I'm trying to do, so explain how to apply and what is the limit and what is the best way to use government programs. And the second one is, so most of restaurants should be changed the style of restaurant, less dining, delivery, takeout, more online ordering, using some SNS, and like non-speaking English small Korean owners, how they can fit it. So then I'm going to try to install this kind of systems to everybody, every members, easy access, low cost, and to be competitive to survive. That's what I'm doing right now.
So important for them to have that hotspot, that lifeline where they can actually receive the information that they need. And stand on a government side, what help is being done for these ethnic communities?
So important. I mean, where else in the world, Camila, can you go and have empanadas, and the next block have kalbi, and then doubles and aki and saltfish? It's what makes our city, our country so great, is that we are a true mosaic, and we need to preserve that mosaic. And so the government's doing a lot. First of all, any information around COVID is available in a lot of languages. And the important part is to make sure that we're engaging with our communities, and whether that be through meetings with the KCBA, like we've done, or through other organizations, and to make sure that we are represented in government, that the government looks like the people that it serves. And certainly that is the case in our government, and that engagement, that is the most important piece. And so, look, my dad, when he moved to this country, and I know many people watching were in the same situation when they first moved to Canada, you couldn't just walk into a big bank and get a 9-to-5 job. So many new Canadians are sort of almost forced into that world of small business to take that risk, to put everything that they have, and it's not much oftentimes when they come to this country, to put that on the line. And it's incredible sacrifice that they put in terms of the resources and the time dedicated. And so we need to protect the small business, because oftentimes that is what small or new Canadians start with. And we've done that through a series of measures. We recognize that, this is the key to future generations' prosperity. And so the government has introduced a series of measures to protect individuals and small businesses. On March 25th, instead of tabling our budget, we released an economic update which outlined $17 billion in immediate relief, $10 billion for individuals and small businesses, $7 billion to protect our healthcare system and capacity. And of course, those measures have been rolled out over time, and there's more coming. So if you need those measures, you don't hesitate to contact my office. We'll be happy to help each and every small business along for their individual case.
And Stan, as someone who does work very closely with the Provincial Minister of Finance, I am curious, there's been a lot of talk about the CERB and how it might be more convenient for some Canadians to simply stay at home rather than seek a part-time employment that might give them less than the government help. Is there some sort of incentive or message or something that you would say to those Canadians that maybe just feel like the CERB is the easy way out during this pandemic?
Camila, I think the vast majority of Canadians are hardworking, honest people who are not going to take a benefit unless they absolutely need it. And the Prime Minister's been clear that for those few bad actors in the system, there will be sort of consequences after that. But right now, I think all three levels of government are clear that the priority is to make sure that we support people, and people need help. And so we're not going to concentrate for the time being on those bad apples in the system. Let's help the vast majority of great people out there. And when we get through this, then we can look towards other measures.
Okay, and now looking towards small business owners, there's a lot of people who do watch TLN that do come from minority communities. A lot of them run a family-owned restaurant or a small clothing store. And I was wondering if both of you could bring a little bit of advice or some reassurance on what they can do right now, today, to prepare for when this new normal comes back.
We've been laying out that groundwork, that framework, not a calendar, but a milestones-based approach to actually reopening the entire economy. And so today's announcement is very important, because it allows that sort of first phase to be announced and what businesses can open, but also what guidelines those businesses are going to have to follow, such as practicing social distancing, guidelines around cleaning and keeping your particular business, safe for your patrons. And so that's sort of going to be coming. And when I say fast and often, stay tuned to the news, because we are at that point now where we can get into those specifics, and we are very close.
And Ms. Chae, is there any recommendations you have for small business owners, Korean Canadians, and from any other immigrant community that might find themselves in trouble right now?
So what I'm working right now, so maybe restaurant business can be the last stage for reopening. So what I'm saying to my members, better preparation is more success for reopening, because government can make a guideline how to reopen. It's the kind of just the basic things, but each restaurant has different details, how to protect customers feeling comfortable, and how to protect staff to work comfortable safely. So make a simulation, and then then make the even every single steps, so each restaurant can make the most safe way for reopening. So when customer come in after reopening, the customer feel very comfortable and safe, then we can gradually, sales will be going up and we can keep hiring. But if we are not ready so for reopening, so then maybe the customer feel uncomfortable, the staff does not feel safe, then it can be easily destroyed everything again. So then my message, try to make online and everything less touching and be safe, and make us some social distance, and what's the best way to utilize and keep safe for everybody. So every details for each restaurant, they know the details. Then what I'm doing, I'm supporting them to wake them up, get ready. So that's what I'm doing right now.
You can never be too prepared, and I think all of us are just ready to get those doors open and hopefully be able to visit all of these small businesses and support our local business owners. Thank you both so much for joining us. This was a great conversation, and I hope that you both stay safe and stay healthy.